Burn Nation, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. I have a very, very special guest with us today. This is Trainer Talk, all right? And I brought to you one of the best training managers in all of Burn Bootcamp Nation. He oversees 7 trainers at Tega and Steele Creek here in North Carolina in the Burn Bootcamp Mecca. I live about an hour north of them, and so we came down here to Tega to hang out and celebrate. We kicked some butt at that camp earlier today. We kind of 1-2 punched it with some of your other trainers, and we laid the smack down like you all love. And it was really a pleasure being able to train with you. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and just watching you grow. We hooked up most recently in December at the Steele Creek gym, and we did some content there. I don't know if listeners remember that. But, I mean, I watched you train at camp, man, and I was like, this guy is on fire. I'm like, it made me proud because at one point in time, when I was young and dumb and stupid, I had an ego, and I thought that no trainer could be as good as me. That's like, you kind of go through that as especially a young athlete who just gets released. And, I played professional baseball. It's like you have to kind of be alpha to be there, right? Yes. And so I thought of myself very highly. And then, now coming full circle, obviously, I gave myself a big humble pie 10 years ago. But coming full circle to be able to see you, dude, I don't know if I can hang with you. And I'm being dead serious. Like, you're one heck of a trainer, and it makes me proud as the leader of this company to build leaders like you, or to at least be a part of that journey and have some of that influence in your journey. And so we want to talk about all of that. We talk about your expertise in training, talk about really your story, right? So we'll start there. Let's get the audience to know you a little bit. Start as early as you'd like to start and kind of bring me up to this point. What were your highs? What were your lows? What's your background? And then we'll kind of take this in 3 chapters. We'll go that chapter. We'll kind of go the here and now. And then we'll kind of go the vision of your life, of your career, personally and professionally. Sound like a plan to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's rewind. Take me back.
Okay, so I'll start back in high school.
Okay.
I'll go back as far as high school. So when I was in high school, I always wanted to be a professional athlete. I didn't know exactly what that looked like, but just like yourself, I thought if I outworked everybody, that would push me to the next level.
What was your sport?
Football.
Yeah.
Football, I played football and basketball. Baseball was the sport I was at best. I was a pitcher, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the recognition from football.
Right.
So, but I probably should have went into baseball. Overall, I wasn't good enough. I went to North Carolina A&T. I got cut from the football team, and it just wasn't in the cards for me. So after that, I remember calling my grandmother on the phone, crying. I'm like, if I can't do this, what am I supposed to do? And she was like, well, son, join the military. So that's what I did at 18 years old. I grew up not having my father around, so growing up to try to, learn how to be a man in the military, 18 years old, I just looked at people, and I was literally taking things from people that I want to be like this, I want to be like this, and the bad qualities I saw, I put those out. But long story short, the military, almost being in for a decade, taught me not only how to be a man, but how to be a leader. So I did 10 years in the military. Mm-hmm. And medically retired. I went through, got diagnosed with I'm coming.
Take your time.
So just like a lot of us, I was diagnosed with severe depression, because I couldn't serve anymore. And it was important to me, to serve my country. I woke up with, as men, like you'll reach a point in your life where whatever you're doing, it's got to be purposeful. Like you wake up with a purpose. So when I got out of the military, I lost that purpose. It's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? So I picked up a few jobs. And one day I was in a gym working out, and one of my best friends at the time, she's like, JB, why don't you pick up training? You're always in the gym. And from there, a light bulb kind of went off in my head, and it clicked. You're like, you know what? I'd make a really good trainer because I had already been doing it in the military my whole life, at least for the last 10 years. So when I got out of the military, the depression got a little bit worse, and I just needed to find something that had purpose. So by the time I got out when I was 27, by the time I hit 30, I realized that I wanted to do something great in life. So I prayed a lot, and God would talk to me. I'm like, God, show me what it is that I'm supposed to do with my life because I'm lost. So I started reading these self-help books. And at the same time, I'm becoming a trainer at the same time. So I read books like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Power of One More. And at the same time, this is when I was just coming into Burn. And I'm like, oh my God, the same thing that I'm learning about in these books, Burn Boot Camp is implementing. So, and I'm like, okay, there's more to this than just training. Training gets people in the door, but it's far more than that. And soon as I picked up on that, I was like, okay, God, this is what you have for me. This is where I'm supposed to be. And it just took off from there. So everything I learned from you guys, like at Summit and stuff, like it hits home for me because I'm at a point now where I truly understand what Burn Boot Camp is all about. And it's not just about the workout. That's not even first. And so here I am. And I bleed blue now.
Man, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing. I know it's hard to talk about the struggles, and clearly, your emotion shows how hard it was. You're here now.
I'm here now.
Right? Look how far we both come. People know my background already. We're very similar. You know, we grow up without men in our life. You're a product of your environment, right? If I grew up watching my dad beat women, cheat on women, in and out of jail, prison.
Same.
Right? It's like, what am I supposed to? People will render you as a useless, unable to contribute to society human being because of who your dad is, who your family is. And I'm like, it's not me, right? That's not me. And then guys like you and I can get together now and we can bond over that because we know we've got the pain. We got the pain. That's the gift, right? It's the gift. How is your pain a gift to you?
There was somewhere in there where I knew that I had to break the cycle. Like I had to be the one. So I'm there's 6 of us siblings. I'm 5 of 6. My siblings turned out like our moms and our dads. I did not. I had to break the cycle, not just for my family, but for the future as well, and the life I want to create for myself. And in order to do that, it brings on more pain, because in order to grow, you got to go through some pain, or there is no growth.
Right.
I fight with those things still to this day. And I've accepted them, and I'm getting comfortable with it because it's not going anywhere.
That's how we use it, right? It's like we have a choice. We could take pain and use it for power, or we can use it to lay on the floor and be a pancake. And also, people that don't experience the pain, they don't have that extra grit. You know, that I'm going to break the cycle no matter what mentality. Like I'm the one, you know, like generations of alcoholism and drug abuse and not going to college and dropping out of school and all this stuff. It's like, right? Guys like, you know, like not us, right? And that's part of the ethos of Burn Boot Camp is to say, hey, our core values, the way we go about our business, a reflection of the literature that you're reading, is going to attract people, right, that are using their pain for power, right? And so today, you sit here, we'll talk about that, we'll go to chapter 2, we'll talk about the now. Today, you have all this pain that you've experienced and you flip this into power. Now not only you break the break the cycle for your own family, but now you have a team of people, right? And a team of people who all go through their own things that are looking up to you as the light, right? The person that's the leader. And so talk to me about leadership and the responsibility of leadership and how you made that choice and what it means to you to be leading a team of 7 people, which seems maybe, you know, like a small group of people, but what I think the audience needs to realize is that those 7 people, they're responsible for thousands of people, right?
Yes, sir.
In their communities. And so what does that mean to you to have that type of responsibility being the top of that hierarchy?
When it comes to leadership, let's just say when I came on this journey and was like, you know what, I want to be a leader. I did not necessarily know what it took to be a leader or understand what it takes to be a leader, because first things first, anybody can be a leader. All you have to do is decide to do it, okay? That's step one. When it does come to being a leader, what I did not understand, what I struggle with the most is now that I get deeper into it and I realize that my team does lean on me. They do want to come to me. They want to know that they can rely on me. They might not tell me that to my face, but through conversations, through interactions, that's what they want from me. And the biggest part for me still to this day is one of the most important things about leadership is you need to be able to give your team all of the credit. And when things go wrong, you need to be able to take all of the blame. I understand that implementing it is very challenging for me, but just being aware of it and what it takes to actually be a leader and to pour into my team, give them the credit when things go right, when things go wrong. Hey, put it on me. I'm the leader here. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest struggle for me, but being aware of it, I get better at it every single day.
Have you ever, you remind me of the way you speak about leadership, have you ever read the book by, I know you're into reading, so that's why I figured this, you might have come across this one. It's called The 5 Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. Have you ever read that one?
I haven't got there yet.
Okay. Try that one next. Because I think it'll, like the way you're talking right now, it's like you're intuitively thinking this way. And as soon as I applied The 5 Levels of Leadership by John C. Maxwell, I was like, oh, this is actually a technique, not just a feeling, right? There's feelings of leadership and there's desires of it, but then there's also the technique of it. And it just kind of goes through the 5 levels. And I was just wondering if you had read it before. But anybody at home that hasn't read that and is into leadership or wanting to be a leader, it actually starts, the first level of leadership out of the 5 is the title. Most people think that that's the highest level. I got the title. I made it. It's like, no, that's just the beginning, right? And then you go through the other 4 levels to finally get to where you're at, level 4, people development. You're developing
That's
people.
exactly
They're looking up to you. Like leaders creating leaders, right? And then level 5 is you do that for so long. You've created so many leaders that you're just an influential, respectful figure. You're iconic as a leader. And so, how do you see in that level 4? How do you see your leadership skills transcending these seven amazing rock star trainers that you have? How do you see them developing people? Are you observing your leadership going deep, and how so?
Yeah, so I do observe my own leadership, and I base how I do off of how they perform. So I look at when I started, and I took a very good look at everybody around me, just like, Bridget was looking to see if she wanted me. I was looking to see if I wanted to be a part of what you were building as well. So when I looked at the team, we knew we were not there yet, and we still have a lot of work to do, starting with me. But I knew that we had something here that was very special. So when I look at the team and everybody stepping up and wanting to do a little bit more, or when I come around, they do elevate their games. And that's what you do when your leader comes around, and it helps me because they come around me a lot too. And it's like, okay, they're here. Mm-hmm. I need to set the example every single day, every single time.
Yeah, it's like the oldest leadership advice ever is watch what I do, not what I say. Mm-hmm. Because actions speak far louder than words. And I've been really I told you this offline, but I just think I want to give recognition where recognition's due in a public setting. The amount of energy and enthusiasm that I see from Steele Creek and Tega K because of your and Bridget and other leaders that you guys have, but because of your and Bridget's leadership it's admirable. I look up to it. I didn't know your background. Thank you for sharing that. Now I look up to you even more. And I know that we have, and that's what mentorship is. It's two-way street. It's you look up to me and I look up to you. You can teach me something, I can teach you something. And if you get around people that are constantly doing that, you start to level each other up. And you level your training team up, now you're starting to level your members up. What's your favorite transformation story that you have from a member that you didn't this might be a hard one, but that you didn't personally touch, that one of your team members touched, that you got to see through your leadership? Anybody that stands out to you? If not, then just go to your favorite transformation story.
Okay.
Maybe not your favorite. Maybe just somebody that like they deserve the recognition. They've been putting in the work.
Okay. So somebody I didn't touch that the entire team touched. I don't necessarily know her last name. Okay, but her name is Eliza. Okay. So I've been here. She was here a year before I've been here. So when I did my first and second focus meeting with her, and I seen how far she had come, far before I even got here, that let me know that, wow, this woman is really putting in the work, and the team that was here before me, they really did a good job of taking care of this woman. I mean, she had been here for a year. She lost 10% body fat, over 30 pounds, and it was absolutely amazing. And she gave me a lot of credit for it that I did not deserve. You know, that was, she made all of that progress before I got here, and it was the team that was here before me that really did a good job, and the team that's in here now that did a really good job of taking care of Eliza.
Those are my favorite moments, right? Just like, man, those, because we do as trainers, you have to have a level of confidence. Like, I'm good at what I do, or I'm actually great at what I do, or I'm phenomenal at what I do. I always have room to improve, but if we don't experience that confidence, how the heck are we going to transfer it to somebody else, right?
I agree.
And so, you know, it's really, it's just a cool thing to be able to have the privilege to create leaders. And so as we're sitting here today and you step into this position, Steele Creek and Tega K, and you're leading these two communities, what do you want for these communities? What's you're a leader of them, right? You're setting the direction. What's your direction for your two locations, and you know, where do you want to take your team in these two locations in the future?
So from day one, when I touched down, my goal for Bridget and myself, because we met at Burn U. We were at Burn U together, and she shared what she needed. I shared my struggles that I was having, and it brought us here today. And before she even brought me on, I was like, Bridget, our goal is to get to 500 members. What does that look like? At the time, neither one of us know, and we're learning and growing and figuring this thing out together. So that's our vision. And the way we get there is by empowering our members, empowering our teams, and understanding that it starts with us. Okay, we can't, like you said, it comes down to confidence. She needs to be confident in herself. I'm definitely confident in myself. Sometimes I need to tone it down a notch and understand that I can learn more, but I'm 100% confident in myself. So confident that nobody can take it away.
Yeah.
Nobody can take it away. So we set a goal for 500, and I remember at one point, she asked me what my goal was again, and the closer we get to 500, the more we have to step up as leaders, and I'm starting to see that right now. And sometimes I question myself, like, do you really have the capacity as a leader to handle this? Because as your member base grows, you're going to have to be even better for your team. You're going to have to be even better for your members. And it's like, JB, do you have the capacity for this? You know, it got me sitting down and thinking. So even if I don't, yes, let's keep going. Let's figure this thing out.
Well, I think the most important question that I could ask to that, because what you're explaining to me is you're on a mountain peak, you got the next one, there's always another goal, right?
Yes.
And then you have this tightrope that you have to walk across to get to one from the other, and you don't get there by being fearful. You don't get there by looking down too much and seeing the gaping cliff beneath you and paralyzing yourself in fear. And if you don't take that step, you'll never get to the point, you'll never uncover the gaps in character or personality or skill or technique that you'll need. And so my question for you, and I think this is an opportunity for you to be vulnerable and transfer that vulnerability to people that are listening to this right now, is on the current mountain peak you're at to where you want to go. Who do you have to become? Who do you have to become as JB personally, not the team? Who does JB have to become to get his squad, his team, from where we're at right now to, I'm assuming it's 500 members in both gyms?
Both gyms.
to over 1,000 families, 1,000 members who you have to become?
Well, it definitely starts with me. I have to get 1% better every day. And what that looks like exactly, I don't know. Am I making and there's going to be times where I'm going to take 3 steps forward and I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take 5 steps forward and I'm going to take 4 steps back. But as long as I'm getting 1% better every day, for me, then I can give it to everybody else around me that looks up to me as a leader.
Mm-hmm. And that philosophy makes you always look for that, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like you're constantly looking for, if you have to get 1% better every day, that's your philosophy. You're always looking for it. And seek and you shall find, right? I think that's a pretty well-known philosophy, right? Seek and you shall find. What you're looking for, you will find. So I have 2 more questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This one will be kind of the last visionary question, and then I'm going to give you that mic and let you stare right into that camera, and I'm going to let you speak some JB life into Burn Nation, okay? What do you want your legacy to be?
Am I supposed to be looking into it now?
Nope, you'll do it next.
Okay. My legacy, so as in one of my favorite chapters in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, chapter 2, writing your own obituary. That's what I'm relating to. That's what you're asking me.
100%.
So when I die, what do I want people to say about JB? I want people to say, I want people to say that JB helped me accomplish things in life that I don't think I could have done without him. I don't think, because my name and JB is going to be attached to Burn Boot Camp, okay? So whether it's JB, whether it's Burn Boot Camp, attach them both together. I want people to know that, hey, I might be hard on you sometimes, but it's all love. It's all love. If somebody's nice to you all the time, I would question it. You know, you need those people that are going to be tough on you, because that's how you actually get 1% better every day. It's through the pain.
That's right. Okay. This is your platform. There's people that are listening to this that are not Burn Boot Camp members. They want to be, but they're just scared. They're fearful. What do you tell those people? Teach us, look at that camera, tell them how we take the first step and why they have to do it.
Okay, so I do understand that walking through the doors on your first time can be very scary, but I promise you, that is the hardest part, is just making it through the door. And I promise you, you're not the only one that has been in that position. We have over 350 members at our location, and I promise you, over 75% of our members were scared to walk through those doors on their first day. But at some point, they did walk through the door, and once you walk through the door, I promise you, we will take care of the rest. I promise you that.
Awesome. Take us out like we always do. 2 claps on 2. Go ahead.
2 claps on 2. 1, 2.
Thanks, JB. You're amazing, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you guys follow JB, Tega K, Steele Creek, North Carolina. Make sure you come get a camp in with my man. Super motivating guy, and we're a better company for having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right.